Hi, my name's Lieutenant Lewis. I see that you volunteered for the maritime surveillance exercise, where I'll train you in some of my analysis duties. I have to operate a variety of intelligent software tools where decisions need to be made in real time. Our big picture goals here are to first, assess piracy threat levels, second, analyze courses of action, and third, make recommendations. After this orientation, you'll be able to see how geographic analysis is at the core of this process. On my desktop, I've got a GIS dashboard that's based on an ESRI ARC server web solution. A variety of integrators have learned about decisions we make and have compiled their solutions into this dashboard. This lets us interact with multiple tools and data sets that are mashed up to support our analytics. Most people call this cloud computing. Because of this, we can be very responsive to the entire chain of command, including the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who need this intelligence. They all need to make informed decisions, and that's why our role is crucial. Alright, the place where I start is the orientation button. This is where we can quickly assess a region for current threats and compiled intel. Go ahead and click the monitor to download a demonstration on how the environment works. The tools you just saw are just the beginning of a software package that was stood up pretty quickly. This is because they weren't built from the ground up. Rather, these tools were pulled together from various contractors that already had some of this stuff put together. To see examples of how these are used in land or sea scenarios, click on one of the buttons below. One of the real-time issues that I deal with is to evaluate ongoing piracy threats. I click on a taskbar to view my ongoing responsibilities. It says piracy is high. Evaluate all vessels in the Pacific region to determine today's sea patrols. Piracy at sea is a big deal, okay? This is not Captain Hook piracy. These are bad guys with guns that want ransoms. So, this is a crisis at sea that impacts a large area. Now, we can't be everywhere at once, so we monitor this activity at the Joint Operations Center, known as the JOC. Within my GIS dashboard, we have access to worldwide geospatial data sets. I can zoom into this region to see the international boundaries that are in play. In case we have to engage a threat, I better assess the strength and capabilities of potential nearby participants. To give you an idea of how this works, our GIS toolset can pull information from many sources. I'll select the Malibu territory to view a direct link to our compiled intelligence database. This lets me look at things like their Air Force capabilities. Alright, after reading it, it says that they don't have long-range planes, but they do have armed helicopters as a threat. If we associate local pirates with this political entity, this will be a piece of intelligence that I'll pass on to anyone involved with a response. If we can help patrol areas with piracy and smuggling problems, we can deter these activities. An analysis says that pirates like calmer waters. Maybe they too are prone to seasickness. Fortunately, my geospatial dashboard can produce maps that define areas by average wave height. Looking at this map, we can see that the blue areas have lower wave heights. Here's an area up against some coastal shipping lanes that could be infested with pirates. So we're talking real time here. I can look at the current piracy events through the Piracy Threats tool. You can see that the pirate business is active, as 3 are currently taking place. Since naval efforts to address this are already engaged, this is an area I don't have to deploy additional patrol resources. In another area, we identified a ship signal from 2 base stations. Using the triangulation tool, we can now find the location for this boat. Pending some other factors, we might send a nearby ship to investigate their intentions if a cargo ship happens to be passing by. What if the bad guys are quiet and don't send any radio communications? So, one of the cool assets we have is the use of synthetic aperture radar imagery, called SAR. We can use the SAR imagery to identify vessels anytime in all weather conditions, because they stick out like a sore thumb above the sea surface elevation. Despite our eyes in the sky, the satellite will eventually move out of view, so I use my GIS dashboard to estimate potential vessel paths. We have a tool that uses metrics to determine where ships are likely to have traveled during the delay in reports. These are represented by blue circles and will be the targeted location we'll move to in order to intercept the vessel. So, we've identified some suspicious activity. What do you think we should do? Well, using the reach of coalition forces, we've got several options. Ships, planes, helicopters. But maybe the least costly response could be to use one of our unmanned aircraft vehicle toys. From my GIS dashboard, I can find the location of the nearest launch pad and issue the order to send one of these UAVs to take a picture of the vessel. We can look at a suspicious boat rendezvous by clicking the AIS Alerts button and then see the track that led vessels to approach each other. Some patterns are more suspicious than others, such as if a boat came from a suspicious port, had a wandering path, or came into direct contact with another vessel. So you can see that from my seat, I can utilize an enormous amount of data through the GIS dashboard powered by ArcGIS server. This allows my commanding officer to be informed in real time when planning his naval patrols. The tools are easy to use and are in direct support of the Navy's decision requirements.